ब्रांच, बट जो थोड़ा सा येलो हो रहते हैं या फिर क्वाइट लाइक नॉट वेरी गुड कंडीशन और हेल्दी लीव्स, वो इजिली टूट जाते हैं. So that टूटना of the particular unhealthy leaves or we can say the old leaves और जो yellow हो गए ऐसे leaves is because of the abscission layer. Okay, so हमने कल क्या बोला था कि auxin prevents the formation of the abscission layer. So you can see this is typical structural structure. So यहाँ पे जो first diagram है, यहाँ पे we can see the leaves are completely green in color and there is a good amount of auxin present. Okay, so this particular is a normal phase. The plant can maintain the leaves in the proper state. Okay, why? Because they are having a high auxin, which actually reduces the ethylene, which is ethylene is what? Ethylene is the inhibitory hormone. तो वो इथिलीन को इनहिबिट कर देगा, बिकॉज ऑफ विच देयर विल बी नो एब्सिशन जोन एंड इट प्रिवेंट्स द लिफ शेडिंग. So that's how auxin actually prevents the abscission layer formation. But जैसे जैसे लिफ और पुराना होते जाएगा, what happens, the amount of auxin is like quite reduced. Now there is no sufficient amount of auxin we can say, और जब बिकॉज ऑक्सीजन नहीं है तो ऑब्वियसली इथिलीन का अमाउंट बढ़ जाएगा एंड द प्लांट लाइक द इट विल start its function. So we all know ethylene is a inhibitory hormone. So what it will start? It will start the formation of the abscission zone, and this will now trigger the shedding phase. Like basically, it will begin the process of shedding. So you can see now in this the second diagram, थोड़ा yellowing of leaves चालू हो गया है, ऑक्सीजन का अमाउंट कम हो चुका है, एंड नाउ इथिलीन is doing some function over here. And in the last part, then finally there is a शेडिंग फेस जहाँ पे पूरा का पूरा लीफ येलो होके that gets separated from the branch. Okay, so this is because synthesis of some enzyme that actually hydrolyze the cell walls of a polysaccharide which are present in that particular region, and this result in a separation and a leaf abscission. So this is I explain in terms of leaf. Okay, so same goes for the flowers and the fruits. You will also observe okay, फ्रूट्स के केस में भी दिस इज ट्रू, इवन इन केस ऑफ, सो यू कैन सी जब कोई भी फल कच्चा होता है तो इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू ब्रेक फ्रॉम द ट्री. ओके, बट कभी कभी जब वो पक जाता है पेड़ पे तो वो अपने आप नीचे गिरने लगते हैं. व्हाई? बिकॉज उनका लाइफ स्पैन कंप्लीट हुआ रहता है एंड देन उनका जो एफिशिएंट लेयर है वो फॉर्म हो जाता है, एंड देन इवन इफ नो बडी इज ब्रेकिंग इट, थोड़ा सा भी अगर किसी ने मतलब हवा से या फिर कोई टच भी हो जाता है तो इट कैन बी इजिली, it will easily fall down. Okay, so that is how it works. It is all बोलते हैं हम लोग पूरा प्लान है कि प्लांट का सिस्टम इज ऑल्सो वेरी वेल प्लान कि कब क्या होने वाला है और कैसे होने वाला है. So that's how the auxin actually prevents the formation of the abscission layer, and ethylene actually promotes the formation of abscission layer. Now I think you understood what is abscission layer at such. Okay, I hope you understood whatever I was saying. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now then इसके बाद हमने स्टार्ट किया था something called as gibberellins और gibberellic acid, and I had mentioned that gibberellic acid का structure बोला था मैंने कि it is a diterpenoid and having a tetracyclic structure, and there are total कितने सारे 150, more than 150 types of gibberellic acid now present. So gibberellins or gibberellic acid is basically contains this particular structure which is a tetracyclic, 1 2 3 4 4 cyclic structures are there, and it is called as gibberellin. Okay, and yeah, gibberellin, whatever you call it, like pronounce it. Then this particular structural component is a major part of the gibberellic acid, and that's why it is called as gibberellic acid. Okay, so you can see this particular tetracyclic ring is a part of this particular gibberellins, and that's why it is called a gibberellic ring. And overall the structure represent the tetracyclic diterpenoid acid. Okay, so this is the typical structure of a gibberellin and the gibberellic acid. and then this I will discuss. Okay, so यहाँ तक ही मैंने कल कवर अप किया था. Now we will move with the next part of the chapter, that is gibberellic acid का physiological function. या सो कल हमने स्टार्ट किया था गिबरेलिक एसिड का बेसिक डायग्राम. तो व्हाट वी सॉ, या इट इज आल्सो अ ग्रोथ प्रोमोटिंग हार्मोन होता है. इट इज अबंडेंट इन रूट एंड डेवलपिंग सीड्स एंड ये नॉन पोलर ग्रोथ ट्रांसपोर्ट दिखाता है. हाउएवर ऑक्सिन्स क्या दिखाते हैं, पोलर ट्रांसपोर्ट. और ये जो गिबरेलिन्स होते हैं ये कहाँ से उन्होंने आइसोलेट किए थे, तो फर्स्ट टाइम इट वाज आइसोलेटेड फ्रॉम द फंगस जिसका नाम था गिब्रेला फ्यूजिकुराई. And after that a lot of research has been done and then उन लोगों ने उसका crystalline form निकाला and finally they characterize it. उसके बाद what they observed that it is a tetracyclic structure which is diterpenite, basically tetracyclic diterpenite acid structure, and it is obtained from the mevalonic acid which is a precursor, and it can synthesize in young leaves, seeds, roots and stems. Okay, stem seeds, sorry. And the most common structure is a GA3. जो structure तुम लोग को मैंने दिखाया अभी about gibberellic acid, that is a GA3 structure. Okay, now let's talk about the physiological effect and applications of gibberellins, which is a part we will start now. So gibberellins are mainly involved in dormancy breaking. So basically, as I mentioned even last lecture, the cells, sometimes some seeds are in a dormant phase, matlab they are in a metabolically inactive state. Okay, so matlab it's not like they are dead or whatever, like they can't germinate. They are live but they are metabolically active, and whenever we will provide them favorable conditions, they can take back their metabolic activity and start growing. Okay, so that is why, and yes, process में gibberellins play a major role. Okay, after that comes a second function. It means they have mentioned that gibberellins actually promote seed germination. So you can say, yeah, it is actually relevant to the dormancy breaking and seed germination. Okay, so they have given some examples also, cereals like barley and wheat, in which it actually breaks the dormancy. Okay, then comes okay, another function where it actually synthesizes amylase like enzymes, which are hydrolytic enzymes which break down the complex sugars like starch. And also they also show basically, if you remember, oxidation में भी हमने क्या देखा था, it was promoting the enlargement and elongation. So in same case, even in gibberellins, या सीरियल्स मतलब क्या बोलेंगे नॉर्मल वर्ड में, जो अपना रहता है ना, व्हीट, राइस एंड ऑल, जो खाना हम लोग खाते हैं, दे आर ऑल सीरियल्स.
सर कुछ ऐसा आसान वर्ड नहीं है क्या उसके लिए?
आसान मतलब एग्जांपल्स ही आई थिंक, मतलब जो अपने ग्रेन्स रहते हैं सब कुछ, व्हीट हो सकता है, बाजरा, ज्वार वगैरह, या राइस, ये सब जो है उसको हम लोग सीरियल्स बोलते हैं. अभी दैट इज अ टिपिकल बेसिक वर्ड. ओके, तो इसके लिए आसान वर्ड अभी मैं क्या दूं?
चलेगा सर, चलेगा, कोई बात नहीं. सीरियल,
या ओके, बेसिकली ग्रेन्स. ओके, मोनोकॉट्स यू कैन से सिंपल वर्ड्स में. So yeah, so I was saying that even this particular hormone is involved in a elongation of the stem, जहाँ पे उसका height और we can say length increase होता है at the internodes. Okay, so that is one of the important function, and it was also reported that if you remember the like ओके, देर आर सम प्लांट्स लाइक जूट, जहाँ पे उसमें ना बड़े बड़े ऐसे रेजिन लाइक थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स मिलते हैं उससे. इवन इन दैट केस जिब्रेलिन्स प्ले वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, बिकॉज उसका वो थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर जो प्लांट से मिलता है उसका हाइट बढ़ा, उसका लेंथ बढ़ाने के लिए वो काम आते हैं. ओके, it also promotes bolting. So what is bolting? Bolting is typically a stage of a flower, like stage in a plant जो होता है before flowering के. Okay, it is essential stage जो flowering से पहले होता है ये, जहाँ पे elongation of antennas होता है, and it is mainly observed in the rosette like flowers. So now what is rosette like flower? So basically जिनका arrangement of the leaves and the typical structure is a circular. तो जैसे कि हमें पता है कि कैबेज में कैसे होता है, उसका सब लीव जैसे सर्कुलर अरेंजमेंट, सर्कुलरली अरेंज होता है. इवन बीटरूट का अगर तुमने देखा तो द सेम थिंग, you can see the circle on beetroot. Okay, in case of cabbage it is more you can visualize very properly. Beet में वो इतना नहीं होता, but still it is there. And then there are multiple such flowers which are showing the rosette like structure, like rose like structure. रोज रहता है, circular flowers, एक के ऊपर एक petals like that. Okay, and yeah, again one more, it also causes parthenocarpy. So one more common function between auxin and gibberellins, both promotes, or we can say both causes parthenocarpy in tomato, apple, pear, and the flowering in a long day plant. So basically now I think तुम लोग का वो पार्ट ही हम लोगों ने पूरा कट मतलब कट कर दिया है. So these particular plants are classified as a in a three category: long day plant, short night plant, or short day plant. So long day or short night, sorry, short day and long night, and then दोनों इक्वल ऐसे. तो व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दिस? बेसिकली लॉन्ग डे, तो जब मैं प्लांट को मैक्सिमम टाइम सनलाइट को एक्सपोज करता हूँ, ऐसा टाइम को हम लोग बोलते हैं लॉन्ग डे प्लांट. जब उसको सनलाइट कम मिलता है तो उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं लॉन्ग नाइट प्लांट. तो इन दिस वे वी हैव क्लासिफाइड द प्लांट्स, because sunlight is an important factor and it actually controls multiple functions in a particular plant, and it actually responsible for flowering and also for a particular typical growth of a plant. So we will not go in detail about this particular fact about how long day and short day वगैरह काम करता है. It is actually comes under the photoperiodism part, but then वो skip कर दिया है, so no point in discussing in detail. Okay, so basically uh, it is also involved in a parthenocarpy, we can say, and it is used to increase the fruit size and the, it is actually basically increase involved in increasing the fruit size. And example हम लोग ले सकते हैं bunch length of the grapes. So we all know grapes कैसे grow होते हैं. It's like a bunch is growing on a that particular plant. So gibberellin ऐसे actually promotes उसका size भी बढ़ाने में help करते हैं, which is again economically important for the farmers. Okay, when gibberellins are applied on genetically dwarf plants like maize or stem, they rapidly start elongating and can acquire the height of the normal tall variety. So I think this is the whole function of the gibberellin. What? To elongate or to increase the length. तो इट वॉज ऑब्जर्व दैट अगर हमने dwarf प्लांट को, जो भी इनका हाइट प्रॉपरली नहीं है, जैसे इनका ग्रोथ प्रॉपरली नहीं हुआ है, ऐसे प्लांट्स को भी अगर हम लोगों ने गिबरेलिन्स दिए, तो इट विल एक्चुअली help the plant to grow and elongate properly and to obtain or acquire a normal plant जैसे properties. Okay, and it was observed in a case of maize. उन्होंने study भी किया था in case of maize. Okay, so there are multiple functions of gibberellin. Even it is help to overcome the requirement of vernalization. So now even vernalization part is there in your chapter, but then it is skipped now. So what is vernalization? It is like inducing the flowering and the growth of a plant under particular condition. So लो टेम्परेचर, हाई टेम्परेचर, ये सब देख के हम लोग प्लांट का ग्रोथ करते हैं, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड एज वर्नलाइजेशन. सो इट इज आल्सो, बट उसका भी देयर आर सम प्रॉब्लम, लाइक यू need a low temperature like -4 degrees Celsius and all. So even that problem can be sorted out using the gibberellin like hormone. And then some important functions like it inhibits the growth of fruit. So just imagine, just keep comparing. Auxin में it was promoting the growth of the shoots and roots, but gibberellin actually inhibits the growth of roots. But then at the same time, it delays the senescence. Now, what is senescence? Senescence is a degradation तो कोई भी प्लांट का डिग्रेडेशन होने से बचता है. So we just now see, we just not saw about the abscission layer formation. तो एक बार abscission layer form हो गया, उसके बाद एक बार leaves का shading हो गया, now they will go under senescence, and even the formation of the abscission layer, we can say it is a part of senescence. Okay, so it is nothing but degradation. Okay, the plant will undergo degradation, and it prevents the abscission layer formation. Okay, so I hope you understood these functions. And then again they have repeated that it breaks the dormancy of seeds and has done germination. Yeah, that is the first point we discussed in gibberellins. And it also it was also observed that gibberellins was able to involve in the production of male flowers and the flowers on a female flowers. So basically it will help in a kind of reproduction processes, you can say, and that's why it was important. So you need to so there are multiple functions, and I know it is quite difficult to keep in mind all the functions. तो तुम लोग को क्या याद रखना है, there are जो multiple functions है, that's fine, but जो strong functions है, like elongation is a very important function, then increase in the fruit size and is another important function. In causes parthenography is an important function. Delays senescence and prevent abscission is an important function. So like this जो भी important लग रहा है वैसे लिखो. And मैंने बोला था yesterday to write down a note on auxin. How many of you are written that thing? कितने लोगों ने लिखा है? A note on auxin. A note on auxin, जिसमें हम लोग को थोड़ा छोटा सा बैकग्राउंड या फिर इंट्रोडक्शन, उसका प्रीकर्सर, उसका सिंथेसिस कहाँ पे होता है वो, उसका फंक्शन और उसका एप्लीकेशन, ऐसे 5 पॉइंट्स में नोट्स चाहिए. कितने लोगों ने लिखा है वो बोलो जल्दी. 68 people are there and I just can see now one reply. Yeah, Akansha, Priyanka, Arina, Chaitanya, Haripriya, Amla. और कोई है? No? Yes, again Akansha. So okay, at least few, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now Deepika also. So fine. जिन लोगों ने लिखा, it is surely going to help you out during your exams and for preparation. So thank you so much for writing. And जिन लोगों ने लिखा, I hope तुम लोग को वापस से सद्बुद्धि मिले और तुम लोग चालू करो लिखना. Whatever. So जिन लोगों ने लिखा है, if you are having any doubt, जब तुम लोग लिख रहे थे तुम लोगों को लगा कि ये पॉइंट लिखना है या नहीं लिखना है, और some any doubt like कि what is important, what is not important, you can ask. मतलब अगर you are having any doubt about auxins, because now all these things at least एक बार तो हाथ के नीचे से जाना is important. Yeah, someone is saying something, please.
हेलो सर.
बोलो.
सर ये एब्सिशन है ना, वो समझा नहीं. वो कल है ना, हाफ एन आवर पहले ही वो मेरा लेक्चर एंड हो गया था.
हाँ, तो कल मैंने कुछ एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया था, आज ही मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया. आज जो मैंने आज बोला वो समझा क्या?
नहीं सर, ये एब्सिशन, सेंसेशन और ये वर्नलाइजेशन क्या है, वो टर्म की मीनिंग नहीं समझा.
ओके, सो वर्नलाइजेशन से पहले ओके, एब्सिशन. तो कल मैंने कुछ ऐसे बोला था. एब्सिशन मैंने इतना ही बोला था कि कल ऑक्सिन प्रिवेंट्स एब्सिशन लेयर फॉर्मेशन. ओके, एंड उसका मैंने आज एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया था सुबह कि कैसे लीफ का नीचे आई मीन एट द बेस ऑफ द लीव्स नियर पेटियोल एक पर्टिकुलर लेयर रहता है विच इज कॉल्ड एज अ सेपरेशन लेयर और एब्सिशन लेयर. जब तक प्लांट के पास अच्छा लेवल का ऑक्सीजन है, इट विल बी हेल्दी. बट जैसे जैसे ऑक्सीजन का लेवल कम हो जाता है, द प्लांट विल स्टार्ट फॉर्मिंग द more stronger abscission layer, and क्या होगा, ultimately the plant will get shed off. So basically this is the process for लीफ शेडिंग जिसमें इन्वॉल्व रहता है, बट कभी कभी कैसे होता है कि इवन प्री मैच्योरली भी हो जाता है, एंड दैट वी डोंट वांट. सो दिस ऑक्सिन्स आर एक्चुअली, उसका रोल क्या होता है टू प्रिवेंट द एब्सिशन लेयर फॉर्मेशन सो दैट द प्लांट विल नॉट गेट सॉरी द लीव्स विल नॉट गेट शेड ऑफ. ऐसे ही कभी भी दे शुड शेड ऑफ बिकॉज दैट इज अ रूल. ओके, बट देन इसे कभी भी नहीं, जब भी उनका टाइम आएगा व्हेन इट इज naturally happening, only at that time it should happen. And that's what the abscission layer is helping for. It is helping for shedding off of the leaves, or you can say even fruits and all. तो सिंपल वर्ड्स में बताना है. लेट्स से एग्जांपल ऑफ, तुमने कभी गावा का ट्री देखा है, पेरू? Yeah, so basically any fruit, but I'm just giving you peru because I think that is the common thing. तो जब वो छोटा लाइक फ्रूट रहता है, एट दैट टाइम वो बहुत ज्यादा कड़क रहता है, एंड इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू ब्रेक इट इवन फ्रॉम द प्लांट. मतलब जो सबसे कच्चा रहता है वो, अब एज अ टाइम पास, जैसे टाइम जाता है वो ग्रो होता है, इट बिकम्स मैच्योर फ्रूट, वो पक जाता है. और इफ इवन इफ एट दैट टाइम इफ यू ट्राई टू ब्रेक इट, ओके, इट विल बी इजी टू ब्रेक एज कम्पेयर टू कच्चा वाला. व्हाई? बिकॉज नाउ द प्लांट नोस कि जो उसका फल है वो पक गया है, एंड इट्स नीड टू बी प्लक ऑफ, उसको निकलना इज इम्पोर्टेंट. ओके, तो एट दैट टाइम ऑलरेडी द प्लांट हैज स्टार्टेड द प्रोसेस ऑफ फॉर्मिंग द abscission layer which will help us to take off the fruits from the plant. But अगर लेट्स से मुझे निकलना ही नहीं, आई डोंट वांट टू ईट पेरू नाउ, एंड वो वैसे ही पका हुआ पेरू मेरे पेड़ पे है, आफ्टर सम टाइम इवन इफ आई एम नॉट टेकिंग इट आउट, लाइक मैंने उसको नहीं निकाला, तो भी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर abscission layer formation and some typical hormones from the plant, वो अपने आप गिर जाएगा, and it will fall down basically. Okay, it will just fall down because of the abscission layer formation, because that layer, वो layer में ना the cells are very not very strong, इसलिए there is a weak bonding we can say between the cells. So because of this particular thing, it is easy for the cells to remove a part basically from their part. So it can be flower, it can be, it's the same thing happens with the flower, same thing happens with the fruits, same thing happens with the leaves as such. तो जो मैंने डायग्राम दिखाया था, I will show you again when I will put on the presentation back on the thing. But then for now just keep in mind कि ये जो abscission layer formation है, this is not something wrong, it is something जो चाहिए, but सही टाइम पे होना is important. Okay. Then next मैं बोला about senescence. Senescence मतलब degradation. Okay. Degradation मतलब कोई भी प्लांट है, as I mentioned, तो particularly उसको इसका एक लाइफ स्पैन रहता है, and after that life span the plant start degradation, मतलब it will start deteriorating basically. So अगर simple words में बोलना है a meaning of senescence, तो it is a process of aging. मतलब जब the plant is like उसका एक लाइफ स्पैन कंप्लीट होने को आया है, he has survived enough now and it is now becoming an older and older. Okay, so this can be happen generally because at this stage क्या होता है, तो उसका जो growth है that is inhibited. So hormones like ethylene or abscisic acid, which are the growth inhibitors, are actually playing a role in a senescence, and it will stop some developmental stage, it will stop the growth of the plant basically, and it will also start degradation of certain components from the cell. So ultimately there will be no proper you can say, what you can say, wait. So as they are trying to stop the growth, and it is not allowing the plants to grow properly and developmental, and the plant is becoming older and older, so basically the plant, ultimately there is no growth, the plant is not developing there, and the plant is now old plant, so it will start degradation. So even if there is, so there however whatever we are doing, even if the plant is in a good condition and we are not providing them something which will force the inhibitory hormones to stop their action, the plant will now ultimately degrade or ultimately die, we can say, which is a natural process. But अगर मैंने वो hormones को inhibit कर दिया, that is abscisic acid on ethylene को inhibit कर दिया, and I'm providing good enough amount of fruit nutrients and the other hormones like auxin and cytokinin, then it might grow. But that is something we are doing forcefully. So as we know, we all are growing, like we all are aging, we all are undergoing the process of aging. Same happens with the plants. So in case of जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं कि हम लोग बड़े हो रहे हैं, हम लोग का एज बढ़ रहा है, and we are like undergoing the process of aging. The same thing happens with the plants also, but in that terms we call it as a senescence. Okay, so I hope now it is clear. It is basically aging in a plant. Plant का बड़ा होना, it is becoming more and more older, is called as aging. And with age we all know there are some complications are there. तो growth तो वैसे ही हो जाता है पूरा completely. Even some enzymes will stop working and the functioning is not that proper. जितना हम लोग अभी young से तो now we are in a adult state, or we can say we are in a 20 to 40 वाला stage, so we are quite strong, you know. But then जैसे जैसे हम लोग old हो जाएंगे, definitely there are some or more complications, and the same thing actually happens with the plant as well. Okay, so now I think this should be clear. If you are not still clear, we can discuss again. I will try to find some diagrams वगैरह, but अभी मेरे पास diagrams नहीं है. And then next you ask about vernalization. तो बेसिकली व्हाट इज vernalization? तो यहाँ पे हम लोग ना प्लांट्स को जर्मिनेशन एंड फ्लावरिंग इंड्यूस करने के लिए ना अलग अलग टेम्परेचर में रखते थे. सो इन केस ऑफ vernalization स्पेसिफिकली हम लोग उसको कूलिंग टेम्परेचर पे रखते हैं, -4 डिग्री सेल्सियस वगैरह ऐसे पे रखते हैं. एंड देन we start growing, we start germinating, and then it was observed that the plant actually grows faster. So this is called as vernalization. Okay, so it is basically induction of plants flowering process. तो जहाँ पे हम लोग उसको अलग अलग टेम्परेचर को रखते हैं, and it was observed that at a -4 डिग्री सेल्सियस, or we can say at a colder temperature, it is giving us good growth and the flowering and the acceleration of flowering process. So I hope now you are at least bit clear about the word abscission, senescence, and vernalization.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is all about the gibberellins.
हेलो सर.
हाँ बोलो.
सर Calcase में it also hastens early rooting in propagation by cutting.
Yeah, actually I don't. Yeah, ठीक है. So basically, if you remember in morphology, मतलब basically, okay. If you remember, मैंने बोला था there is something called as rhizogenesis, there is something called as collagenesis. तो
हाँ
जो
सर.
auxins जो है ना, that actually promotes rooting of the plant. Rooting मतलब क्या? It actually promotes the root formation. Okay. So if I am having a particular part of the plant, तो मैंने उसको कट कर दिया सेल्स को, और मैंने उसको अगार में रख दिया, लाइक अगार में न्यूट्रिएंट मीडिया में रख दिया, जहाँ पे प्लांट्स को सब ये मिलने वाले, न्यूट्रिएंट्स मिलने वाले. So what I will do, I will add more amount of auxin in the particular media. So since I am providing more amount of auxin, it will help in a root formation. In the same way, अगर मुझे अभी मेरा रूट प्रॉपर डेवलप हो चुका है and I want to form shoots, what I will do, मैं ऑक्सीजन का लेवल कम कर दूंगा and I will add up the amount of cytokinins. So cytokinins actually help in a promotion of the shoot formation. So in this is actually techniques in a tissue culture which we generally use, and these hormones auxins actually help in a rooting. Rooting मतलब it helps in a root formation, and cytokinins actually help in a shooting, that is for shoot formation. But I will actually try to find out a typical diagram which will help you for better understanding. But this is what it means.
Yes sir.
Yeah.
सर और सर एक और पॉइंट है.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, it kills dicot weeds without affecting monocrop plants.
Yeah, so I think this is 2,4-deoxy वाला. So basically ये जो डाइकॉट लीव्स को छोड़ मारता है विदाउट अफेक्टिंग मोनोकॉट वाला is a example of the herbicide which they had developed using the synthetic auxin called as 2,4-dichlorophenoxy acetic acid. So what does actually the herbicide has been developed in such a way that it will only target or we can say it can specifically target and kill the dicot weeds. So basically we don't want weeds, and generally weeds are the major problems in most of the farms. So what they have to do, वो लोग क्या करते हैं, जो मेन प्लांट है उसका ग्रोथ स्टॉप कर देते हैं और खुद ही ग्रो होने लगते हैं. So in that case what we need to do, हम लोग को weeds को निकालना पड़ता है, and so that it can allow the growth of the or normal crops. So monocot generally what all the crop plants, wheat ho, jowar ho, rice ho, anything are monocots basically. So in this case, in this farm plants or in this crop plants, mainly weeds का problem होता है, and generally what if you go traditionally ना, what they do, they cut it down and they throw it. They cut it down and throw it. But then the growth of this particular weed is not ऐसा कि एक बार निकाल दिया, now it will never come. Even if a small root part is there, ना, it will start growing again. And that's why we need some permanent solution for it, and that's how this particular 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid is helping. ये क्या करता है? It is actually I don't know the chemistry of it. I will check out कि exactly वो कैसे target specific है. But then जितना मुझे पता है, I can say that it can only go and bind to the dicot plants, and it will not affect. Even though it is falling on a monocot plant, it will not affect. So exactly उन्होंने उनका mechanism क्या है? They are targeting something जो सिर्फ dicots में ही होता है, and that is absent in a monocots. So because of which it will help me, because monocots में अगर वो particular part है ही नहीं, तो my herbicide will not go and bind anyway. But dicots में अगर वो part है, तो obviously it will go and bind, and that's how it will show its action, and then it will be killing the weeds. So that's what it means. It is all about the specificity, and we can say, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Anything else? I think someone was
No,
speaking.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So now we are done with the auxins and gibberellins. I expect you to do the same with gibberellins also. Try writing down things, and it will help you. Yeah. Now let's start with the next part, that is the cytokine, or we can say cytokinins. Okay. It is also a growth hormone. So if you remember, starting में ही मैंने बोला था, there are total 5 hormones: auxin, gibberellins, cytokinins, ethylene, and abscisic acid. Out of the 5, the first 3, that is auxin, cytokinin, and gibberellins, are growth promoters, and the rest 2 are growth inhibitors. So now this is the last growth promoting hormone, we can say, which promotes the cell division. So cytokinin, matlab it actually promotes the cell divisions, and it was actually first coined by the scientist Latham, and it was first discovered by 2 scientists, School and Miller. Okay, so these are two scientists जो लोग actually काम कर रहे थे on a tobacco plant, which is जिसका scientific name is Nicotiana tabacum, और ये लोग टिश्यू कल्चर पे काम कर रहे थे. So they used to make a callus, and they used to induce the plant growth and all. So while doing that, what they observed, जब भी उन्होंने मतलब वो कैलस को न्यूट्रिएंट्स के साथ कोकोनट मिल्क दिया है, it was giving very nice growth. Okay, the growth was proliferated whenever they are providing coconut milk as a source, as a nutrient source. And sorry, and degraded sample of DNA. So what they went to say, what they observed that कि जब भी हम लोग ये provide कर रहे हैं, there is a increase in a proliferation, and then they started studying that कि exactly ये components में है क्या. Okay, DNA of the herring है या फिर coconut milk है क्या, उसमें exactly है क्या. And at that point, when they started analysis, they found that there are some components which are present called as kinetins, and which are promoting this particular hormone called as cytokinin. So they have mentioned there degraded sample of DNA which was obtained from the herring sperm. Herring is a fish basically. You can it is a silver color fish. Both दोनों तरफ से narrow dime होता है. You can I don't have its picture abhi, but you can just Google it out. Herring. It is very common and commercial fish, which is present observed, and it is even used for the scientific purposes. So what they basically unka overall funda was like ki, why these components are promoting the proliferation. So definitely they are having something chemical or some other chemical which is stimulating this promotion or proliferation. Okay, so they name this something or they name this chemical which is present in this particular component as a kinetin, and these are nothing but our cytokinins. Okay, so chemically this particular kinin means kinins are 6-furfuryl aminopurines. This is the chemically, or we can say a typical name of the this kinase. And the coconut oil is very good source of this particular cytokinins, or you can say kinase. They were first obtained from the unripe maize grass by the Latham, and that's why we said that the term was first coined by the scientist Latham. So Latham was the first one who actually was working on these particular chemicals, and he found that some same thing in a maize and called this as a zeatin. So if you know, maize ka scientific name is a zea maize, right? So that's why he named it as a zeatin. And then, as we know, always we don't. It's not like something is always natural. So as we know, okay, cytokinins are helping in proliferation. We started working and we started finding some alternative and synthetic ones. So there are now synthetic cytokinins also available. One example of such cytokinin is the 6-benzyl adenine. So kinase, which is a natural, is a 6-furfuryl aminopurine. और जो ओके सर एक एक सेंटेंस का मीनिंग बताइए मिक्स हो रहा ओके सो सबसे पहले हमने स्टार्ट किया था साइटोकाइनेसिस से इट इज एक्चुअली प्रमोटिंग सेल डिवीजन आई थिंक दैट इज क्लियर लिथम वाज द फर्स्ट साइंटिस्ट जिसने ये स्टार्ट किया था एंड ही एक्चुअली वर्क ऑन अ मेज एंड ही ऑब्टेन अ फर्स्ट साइटोकाइनिन फ्रॉम द मेज जिसको उसने नाम दिया था जियाटिन ओके उसके बाद अगेन 2 more साइंटिस्ट वर देयर जो लोग काम कर रहे थे टिश्यू कल्चर पे एंड दे वर वर्किंग ऑन अ प्लांट और वी कैन से ऑन अ कैलस ऑफ अ tobacco plant that is a nicotiana tobacco and they were trying to grow this particular tobacco plant in a controlled condition. So obviously we know tissue culture जब हम लोग करते हैं so we have to provide a proper media, proper nutrients, proper supplements. तो उन्होंने जब उन्होंने एक बात ऑब्जर्व की when the callus was showing good proliferation when the nutrient medium was supplemented with the coconut oil and a degraded sample of DNA which was obtained from the herring sperm. So first degraded sample of DNA which was obtained from herring sperm. It is a typical fish which is present. And why DNA sample? Because if you see uska structure आगे it is mainly purines and pyrimidines kind like purine based structure like that's why DNA sample provide karna degraded form mein it's like we are supplementing a kind of purines to the medium. Okay, and the other sample supplementation was coconut milk which is also a good source of cytokinin. So what they observed when we are providing these two components there is a good proliferation. So they named this, so they obviously they understood that there is something in this particular samples जो help कर रहा है, and that's why they named it as a kinetin. So cytokinins and kinetin are nothing but same. So these particular kinetins are nothing but or cytokinins or kinetins are nothing but 6-furfuryl aminopurines if we see them chemically. So we all know purines, they are also an important part of the nucleotides. So the first natural, as I mentioned, was obtained from the latham, which was from the maize, and he called it as a zeatin. Now people also have started finding out the synthetic ones, which is called as 6-benzyl adenine. Okay, this is also a synthetic kind of cytokinin which is now commercially used. Now there are multiple types of cytokinins, but there are 7 different types of cytokinins are actually recorded from plants, and natural cytokinins are also reported from plants like banana, flowers, apple, tomato, fruits, coconut milk. So these are some sources of cytokinins we can say. And basically all the plants will have the cytokinin. It's not like कोई plant में है कोई plant में नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं. Because सब plants को growth के लिए cytokinin is important. But then there are some rich sources we can say like coconut oil, coconut milk and all, which are more helpful. Okay, so that is all about the cytokinins का background. So what we understood that सबसे पहले वो क्या करता है, इट प्रमोट सेल डिवीजन. वो सबसे पहले किसने डिस्कवर किया था, लिथम ने किया था, विच वाज द नेचुरल साइटोकाइनिन, एंड द वन विच ही डिस्कवर्ड वाज द zeatin, जिसका केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर क्या था, 6 बेंजाइल एडेनाइन. ओके, सो उसके बाद अगेन 2 साइंटिस्ट स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन टोबैको प्लांट. They were supplementing the media with different components, and जब उन लोगों ने कोकोनट ऑयल, कोकोनट मिल्क एंड डिग्रेडेड डीएनए यूज किया, they observed more kind of proliferation. So they said okay, there is something is present in this particular components, and they called it as a kinetins. Okay, so kinetins are chemically what, 6-phosphorylal aminopurines. So these are just cytokinins which are actually helping us for proper growth and cell division. So till now there are multiple types of cytokinins available, but out of them 7 are recorded in a plant, that is naturally present in a plants. And then there are different sources like plants like banana flowers, apple, tomato fruits, and coconut milk. Okay, so this is the typical basic background about the cytokinin. Now we'll start about the physiological effect and the application of cytokinin. So when I say cytokinin ना, हम लोग को दो पॉइंट याद रखने हैं which are very important. सबसे पहले it promotes cell division. Secondly, it promotes shooting, that is the shoot formation. Okay, so then there are other functions. So apart from cell division, it actually promotes cell enlargement. So now I think this is something which is common in auxin, gibberellins, and as well as in cytokinins now. It is promoting the cell division, cell enlargement. And then the another function is it is promoting shooting. And now this is the same thing जो मैंने just now I think आकांक्षा का explain किया था about the shooting and rooting. So a low ratio of cytokinin to auxin induces root development. तो अगर मुझे कोई भी प्लांट में अगर सिर्फ रूट्स चाहिए तो आई विल यूज मोर अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन एंड लो अमाउंट ऑफ साइटोकाइनिन विच विल गिव मी रूट फॉर्मेशन. बट अगर मैंने उसको हाई रेशियो यूज किया लाइक हाई कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ साइटोकाइनिन एंड लो ऑफ ऑक्सीजन, then it will give me shoot formation. So that's why auxin to cytokinin ratio is one of the important factor in a plant tissue culture methods. Okay, because they help in controlling the growth. They actually promotes कि okay अभी root formation करना है या shoot formation करना है, differentiation process and all सब control कर सकते हैं. The another thing is in which the cytokinins are involved. So it actually promotes the growth of lateral buds. Okay, so if you remember auxin जो कि apical dominance को promote कर रहा था, on other side cytokinin actually helps to promote the lateral bud formation, which will stop the like only one direction growth of the plant जो कि सिर्फ apical direction से ऊपर grow होते जा रहा था, and there is no proper appearance as well. So it will actually promote the side branches formation and the lateral buds formation, which will help us to control the apical dominance. Okay, then another important function of a cytokinin is it delays the senescence, or we can say the aging of the plant, and thus the abscission process. So basically it will not let the plants fall off or easily वो degrade होना उनका possible नहीं होगा if you are giving them continuous supply of cytokinins. Okay, so after that there are other few functions like formation of the interfascicular cambium, which is generally observed in the dicot plants, and expansion of cells which are required for the particular functions. And it also breaks the dormancy, which is again a common point I think in auxin, cytokinin and gibberellins, and promotes the germination of the seeds. So it was also the same point was also there in a gibberellin. So we can say yeah, auxin, cytokinin and gibberellins all are involved in breaking the dormancy and promotes the germination. And then the next point is like it which is the same which we discussed like about the reversal of apical dominance effect, and then also it induces the RNA synthesis and the formation of a interfascicular cambium. So ये जो लास्ट का दो पॉइंट है उन्होंने आई डोंट नो व्हाई दे आर रिपीटिंग द स्टेप अगेन एंड अगेन, मे बी जस्ट उन लोगों को उनका साइज बड़ा दिखा था इसलिए, बट ये सेम थिंग ऊपर भी लिखा हुआ है. सो आई थिंक नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड व्हाट आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ द साइटोकाइनेस. सबसे पहले सेल डिवीजन, सेकेंड सेल एनलार्जमेंट, थर्ड shooting, fourth controls apical dominance, fifth it delays the senescence and aging, sixth RNA synthesis and formation of interfascicular cambium. तो अगर तुमने इतने 6 पॉइंट्स पे लिख दिया, आई थिंक these are very quite easy and you can memorize also or you can keep in mind or remember also very easily. So this is the way we study all these things. Because अगर तुम लोग लाइन बाय लाइन वर्ड बाय वर्ड रट्टा मारने जाओगे so it is not possible. Yeah, an interfascicular cambium, this is something actually I think you all must be doing because it must be there in your anatomy of a flowering plant का chapter में. But exactly ये होता क्या है? So this is actually a cambium which occupies a place between the two vascular bundles. The xylem and phloem के बीच में से रहता है वैसे kind of thing, and that's why it is called as interfascicular cambium. It is a secondary meristematic tissue and help in growth for like we can say during the secondary growth. During the secondary growth actually it fuses with the fascicular cambium and then they together form a typical continuous ring of a meristematic tissue which is finally called as the vascular cambium. So I think तुम लोगों ने ये सब पढ़ा होगा in your 11th standard का book. I will show you diagram about this in the presentation part. Okay, but I hope you understood what is cytokinin और उसका function. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So cytokinins are quite easy and easy to understand also and easy to keep in like mind. मतलब समझने में भी easy है और याद रखने में भी easy है. So keep in mind these things. Then comes ethylene and abscisic acid, but again today I think 8:30 is हो गया है, so I will not start. I will stop here. But if you are having any doubts, we can discuss. So next lecture में खत्म हो जाएगा. What I am expecting from you all to read up the entire thing जो हमने अब तक किया है. Like now just skip the part जो syllabus में नहीं है वो skip कर देंगे. But about the hormones part, starting from the hormones till cytokinase अच्छे से पढ़ के आओ. पहले हम लोग रिवीजन लेंगे कल एंड उसके बाद we will finish up the ethylene and abscisic acid का part because I think उसके बाद there is nothing in this chapter जो syllabus में. उसके बाद there are multiple things in this chapter like photoperiodism. So if you remember, I was talking about the short day plant and long day plant. वो सब है, but then this is not a part of your syllabus. Even ये भी नहीं है, वर्नलाइजेशन भी पार्ट नहीं है तुम्हारे सिलेबस का. And then
सर इसके बाद कुछ नहीं है.
हाँ, so there is nothing. So we just need to cover up 2 more topics in this chapter जो हम लोग करेंगे. तुम लोग बहुत ज्यादा लकी हो बेसिकली बिकॉज ये सब कुछ नहीं है तो क्या पढ़ोगे फिर, कुछ चैलेंज ही नहीं बचा एग्जाम में को. या बट दैट्स फाइन, वी कैन से पर्क्स ऑफ कोरोना. कुछ तो फायदा हो जाए, 6 महीने से घर पे बैठे.
सर नीट में तो आएगा ही ना.
या नीट में तो पक्का आएगा और बहुत भर भर के आएगा.